So I'm very fortunate to be joined by Malik. What is your correct me if I'm wrong,
Narcolepsy boy.
That's it. It's a tongue twister. I can never get it. It's the accent, the British accent. I do apologise for that. Where did that name come from, mate?
You say that again?
Where did that name come from? How did you come up with that name?
Oh, I have narcolepsy.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So some people ask me that a lot too, but it's like, do you really have it? Like, yeah, I really got it. Some people aren't too sure, so they had that. I don't know. I guess they want to double check or whatever the case is. But some people will ask me like, "You really got narcolepsy?" I'm like, yeah, I really got narcolepsy. It's a real thing.
Jesus, man. Where did you first discover wrestling, mate?
Probably like 2004. Around that time, my uncle's the one who got me into it. He grew up watching it, and he doesn't keep up with it as much as he used to. I mean, he'll dabble into it here and there, but my uncle was the one who pretty much put me onto it. And once he introduced me to it, I kind of just started dabbling into it. And once I really started to get into it, just took off from there. So,
who was the one that hooked you the most?
When I first started watching, my first favorite was Eddie Guerrero. When I first started to watch, he's the first guy that kind of gravitated me towards the product and stuff like that. Now the one over time, the guy that really hooked me into it was John Cena. He was the one that really, like, that's my guy right there. Like, once everybody finds a favorite eventually. So once you start watching, everybody has their personal favorites, like all time. Like, that was once I really started to get into it. Yeah, Cena was the guy for me.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on his heel run and 2025 is John Cena's final year? What is your opinion on that?
I don't think he should have turned heel like ever. I don't think he ever needed to. Other than the heel turn, though, I don't think his heel run is as bad as some people are making it out to be. His matches have been very good. He's maybe had 3 matches out of the year that were like, either a little boring or just didn't hit well. But I mean, majority of his matches have been really good. Even some like match of the year contenders, I would say. And I get some people want, I guess, better builds to his stories and better builds to, some of the bigger matches, but some of the builds don't really need to be factored in, like the AJ Styles match, the CM Punk, the Randy Orton match. The build is just the history between the two. The matches are happening because the people want to see those matches happen before John Cena retires. So the build is just the backstory of the history between the individuals and why this is happening. So I don't think you really need to go off a new story or reinvent some new type of story for those builds. Just the simple fact people want to see it happen. People want to see AJ versus Cena happen. So Cena spoke about it on social media and said, let's make it happen. Now we got it. So you don't really have to have a story for that. It's just Cena, AJ on paper. Everybody's going to want to see it. We know the history between the two individuals. The heel turn, I kind of feel like they wasted kind of 5 months with his run with that heel turn. I mean, I get it was a shocking moment, but I just don't think many people wanted to hate John Cena in this modern era now. I think they more want to appreciate him more than anything, for sure. And I just feel like him turning heel it just was too little too late. Maybe they did this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it'd have been different. But in 2025, John Cena isn't as hated as he once was anymore. So I don't know what the plan was. Plus, the execution at WrestleMania with The Rock not being there and stuff, it didn't sit well with a lot of people. It made it more confusing. So I just feel like the heel turn's the only really thing that I wish they didn't do. But other than that, I mean, I feel like if he wasn't heel and he was doing everything that he's been doing all year just as a babyface, I don't think people would be that upset.
100%. I will agree with you on that one. But I think his heel turn at the Rumble, not the Rumble, the Chamber, will go down as one of the shocking moments in WWE history. I will say that.
By far. Yeah, that'll go down as a shocking moment. I mean, it's probably up there with the streak dying, right? But the execution afterwards, it's not like you can't put it in the same category as the Hogan stuff. When Hogan turned heel, they had a great execution after the heel turn. That's changed wrestling. Cena doesn't have that effect. Shocking moment, but not the execution.
100%. So what would you say is the best way to describe your content?
Authentic for sure. I would probably say opinionated, when it comes to certain things. Engagement as well. I do like to engage with the people who follow me, so I do like little filter games and stuff like that as well. I do like little comedy stuff too, like on my other social medias like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I try to do a little bit of everything, if I'm being honest. I don't want to just be like in a box with just like certain things like reactions or, like trivia stuff or whatever it is. I try to mix it in and do a little bit different of, a little bit of mixture of everything. If I'm being honest, I try to just expand. But I think with my content, the best way to describe it, you get a little bit of everything.
I like that. When did you first begin?
As far as on TikTok?
TikTok, YouTube, where did you, when?
So TikTok really 2020 during pandemic, when all that stuff happened. But I made my YouTube channel in 2016, but it wasn't originally a wrestling channel at first. I didn't really start doing wrestling stuff until like 2017, but it was just like little reaction videos here and there. And I didn't really start taking my YouTube serious, honestly, probably until like maybe last year, if I'm being honest. That's why I'm so far back of, trying to grow now. I should have started years and years ago, but I was like very inconsistent with my YouTube, like post little stuff here and there, and then I wouldn't post for months and months. And just very inconsistent with it. So now I'm starting to be more consistent, but it's kind of like now you're trying to play catch up. Now you're trying to get the followers and get the people to go over to your, other channels, because, you got to make separate content for TikTok and YouTube. And so it's a challenge, it's very challenging, but, hopefully it'll all work out in the end. But been making really, I'd say 2020 is when I really start to make content. Like that's when I really start to take it serious.
I mean, 15,000 subscribers on YouTube is amazing.
I mean, that's good. Yeah, that's good now. Hopefully, I'm trying to get to the 100K. That's the main goal for me. Once I get there,
you want that plaque.
Yeah, once I get there, then if I can get to 100K, then I'll be more secured where I feel like I have other certain goals for YouTube. But yeah, definitely the plaque would be nice for sure. I feel like those are always good accomplishments to have, that you could say that you achieved that or did something like that. It'd be dope.
I think there's a bit of spare room on your wall, isn't there, for that plaque?
Yeah, we got plenty of room. We got a bunch of titles back there too, so put it there somewhere.
Yeah, most definitely, man. What would you say is the biggest achievement since TikTok and YouTube? What is the biggest achievement that you've generated or had?
Probably just, I guess, getting a following for sure. Being able to make content and meet people and make it a thing, man. It's a cool thing to be a part of the community. I would say, just being one of the creators. I would say that's probably the biggest goal for me. Some people always talk about they want to get into it, but they don't know how to, and they don't really see themselves going anywhere because maybe they don't have faith in themselves, or they just think it's impossible to happen. But anything's possible, man. You just got to put yourself out there. I mean, it takes some time for certain people. Some people are fortunate enough to blow up faster than others, but if you're willing to put in the effort into it, it'll all come back around for you eventually. Just patience is a major key with making content.
Literally, and it's patience, consistency, and just things take time. It's not like you said earlier. You wish you had done it years ago, but you're here now, and I've seen your videos, and I watched your Omos video, and I think personally, as a person who watches you outside of TikTok, I watch your YouTube as well. The Omos video is probably some of your best work.
Yeah, that was so little backstory on that. We were supposed to be do that like a year ago. I've been talking to him for a while about doing the interview, but of course you got to get everything approved by WWE and other things factor into it as well. So it took a while, but we finally made it happen. So hopefully we'll be able to do another one in the future.
Yeah, but the fact that you mentioned there, he had to get it approved by WWE.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That is so kind of now WWE knows your name. If you want to look at it like that.
Kind of, yeah. When you put it like that, kind of. I'm trying to get some more interviews out there a little bit. That's the main goal I think I probably want to reach. I want to get like the the Chris Van Fleets and the Sam Roberts, the Peter Rosenbergs. Those are like the people that I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to something like that aspect right there, because I kind of want to make a career out of this. Like making content and stuff on social media is cool, but I feel like you don't really have a career out of it unless you're like majorly like up there. You know what I mean? Where like you're making a lot of money to where like you have connections and certain things that come with it. You know what I mean? I feel like, it's a safe route to have other options, and getting to like radio broadcasting, that would be something that would definitely, podcasting was something that I definitely would like to get into, that type of career.
100%, man. And believe me, we've all got to start somewhere. You mentioned there are obviously connections. Omos really is your connect now. It's like me, I've had certain guests. Do you know what I mean? Now, once your name gets out there, you kind of build, I'm not saying a reputation, but people start to know your name. Do you know what I mean? You're number 98 guest for me.
Who all have you had on the pod so far?
Do you want me to just name 5, or do you want me to top 3?
Just you name a couple of wrestlers that you've had.
Jacob Fatu, Zilla Fatu. I've had Vince Russo. I've had Dijak. I've had Wheezy Bond. I know she's not a wrestler, but I've had her. Yeah. I've had Minnie. I've got Ortiz coming up. I've had Nigel.
Ortiz?
Yeah.
Santana Ortiz? Okay.
And then I have just recently done Nigel McGuinness. Okay. I've had Brian Cage. I've had Brian Alvarez.
Oh, so you got a catalog. You got a bigger catalog than me, brother.
No bigger following, though.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not really about the following that you have, though. Sometimes it's more about the connections. I think a lot of people don't know that. A following is just a number. A number, like that number is just a pleasure of people. And to be honest, you could have a lot of followers, but may not get the engagement or views. The algorithm may not work in your factor that way. So you could have tons and tons of followers, but somebody with less and less followers, their videos may be more successful than you. So that may be able to get them more opportunities. Like a following can maybe get you like more brand deals, and it may get you a bigger way to get into certain things because you have that number attached to it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that your engagement is going to be bigger than other people. You know what I mean? Like, it's really all about the engagement and the views and interactions. Connections is that's the major thing right there. If you got certain connections, it doesn't really matter how big your following is. You got the connection. So, if, for example, if, I have a bigger following than you, but if you got bigger connections than I have, you're more willing to get opportunities that I'm trying to get that I won't be able to get because I don't have those type of connections. So it's really all about the people that you know and the people that you're able to connect with. I think a lot of people don't know that about making content. They think, they're chasing the followers, they're chasing the views. That's what they really, really want. But in the end, it's really about those type of connections that you can make. The following can't help. So I'm not saying that the following can't help, but majority of the time, if you really look at TikTok, especially TikTok's algorithm, go look at a lot of people who got a lot of followers and watch how many views they get. You can look at my page for an example. I got a lot of followers, but the views that I usually get on my TikToks don't really match up with the followers that I have. There's people who got way less followers than me and get way more views and engagement on their videos than I do. So it's really about the type of connection. The algorithm, like I said, once again, plays a factor into it, but you can't control that. That's not something that's really in your control. So connections, I think, are really the main key.
You know what you just said? You hit the nail on the nail on the coffin. Who is some of your favorite that you've had the pleasure to interview?
I've only interviewed a couple of wrestlers. I've interviewed Mr. Kennedy. He was great. Obviously Omos. I've interviewed Ryan Satin a couple of years ago. Chris Van Fleet I've interviewed as well. Those are really like it. I don't really have too many interviews under my resume. Like, I don't really know how. I don't have connections, so I don't really know how to make those interviews happen. I don't know if people just reach out to individuals through like social media and just cross their fingers and hope that they'll get a response. I don't know if they have people. I don't know how that works.
I'll speak to you after this if you want.
Sure, yeah.
Every little helps with anyone, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so where do you see yourself in 2026?
Probably in the same boat that I'm in right now. It takes a while to grow. So I obviously have certain goals, but I don't know if I'll really reach the goals that I really want to unless something crazy, incredible was to happen within that time frame, which is possible. But I'm still gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully, within the next 5-10 years, I'll be in a better spot that I want to be at, especially on YouTube. Really, YouTube is kind of the one that I'm really trying to focus on more.
So, what would you say we are very fortunate to be as a wrestling fan?
Right now, I think wrestling is great right now. I feel a lot of people are always crying and complaining about certain things, which I get. Not everybody's gonna like what they get, but I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, you could watch WWE, NXT, you could watch TNA, you could watch AEW, New Japan. I mean, there's just AAA. There's just so many promotions out there to watch right now. You don't have to be attached to just one brand. If you like wrestling, try to give other promotions a shot. It doesn't mean that you don't have to, you know, disattach yourself from WWE because it's not good right now for you, or AEW because it's not good for you right now. You can still keep up with it and still watch other things and still just enjoy wrestling.
So when you are thinking of ideas to do for content, how do you come up with it? Do you have like a list? Do you have like some videos in the draft, like ready to publish?
Yeah, I
How
write
do you do
down all
it?
my ideas in my notes. So right now I have in my notes total, I got 518 notes written down. And
Okay.
some of these are years old. Some of these even go back to like 2019, like old stuff. And I don't delete any of the ones that I feel are interesting because you never know, if it would be a good idea for a video when you get to it. There's videos that I've had written down for years and decided, one day this will be a good video. Let me do this one. Or maybe if I, don't feel like recording a long video that day, that's going to be a short video to put out. I just do that one and put it out there. So writing down stuff I always do. I feel like it's a good idea. If you have ideas, make sure you write them down in your notes for sure, because you never know when you'll get to it.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I've always been when I've put my stuff out, and obviously you look at the number. I mean, the number of views. For me, obviously, when I first started it, that hit me. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, no one's seeing this, no one's this, no one that. But over the time, I was scared of what people thought. Do you know what I mean? Talking on a microphone to you, whether that's to Jake Fatu or anyone. I was, scared of what people think. But now I don't give two flying folks. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever thought like that? Like you're not bothered of how people see you or anything?
Not really, if I'm being honest. I mean, I don't really care if people don't like the stuff I put out, or whatever the case is. I know I have an audience that does like what I do. So, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. It's that simple. I mean, I'm not going to pressure you or force somebody to. I mean, I've been in the boat now, definitely, when you post stuff and you feel like nobody's watching. So, I mean, every creator goes through that. When you put a video together, you think it's going to be really, really good, and you put a lot of effort and editing into it, and then it doesn't do shit, and then you could put out a video that you put less effort into and it blows up, so
You enjoy it works,
I definitely been in the boat where, you want to get the views and engagement and stuff like that, but then you post a video and it doesn't do as well, and you're like, oh damn, that would have been a good one. I thought that would have been a good video, but like I said, you can't control the algorithm, unless you become like really big on social media where you're like super social media famous, and anything you post will get a number amount of views. That's really, really hard to get to, though. Like it's not impossible, but it's really hard to get to that level.
100%. So obviously you mentioned you've been doing this since 2016, but probably since 2020. Have you ever been like burnt out, or like do you feel like, oh god, or just exhausted?
Not really to that extent. I mean, I've had lazy days where I don't feel like recording as much, but I always post a video every day, though. I've been doing that consistently for years now. Like, I just love making content. So for me, it's not like a job, I guess you could say. It's just when you do something you enjoy, you don't really look at it that way. Like I said, of course, you got days you're like, ah, man, I don't really feel like, I don't really feel like recording as much today, or don't really feel like doing this and doing that. But I've never had the burnout feeling where it's like, I don't know. I can't relate to stuff like that. It's the same when people like take breaks from wrestling, like when maybe a certain era isn't good from wrestling and they feel burnt out, so they'll stop watching for a couple of years and then come back to it. that's never been me, bro. Like I'm too attached to it. I can't detach myself from it. You know, like there may be times where maybe I won't watch like a Raw and SmackDown every week, but I always watch the pay-per-views. I always keep up with it on social media. Like I'm still in it. You know what I mean? Like I still know what's happening. I'm not detaching myself where I don't know any of the stories. I don't know who's who. Like I just never felt that way where it's like, oh, I'm burnt out for wrestling. Like I have other things going on. Like I've seen other people say like, you know, they got life, you know, they were in school and work and stuff like that. But I get that. But for me, it's like I have to know, man. Like I don't know. I've never had that feeling where I felt burnt out just for making content where it's like I want to take a break. I've had days, like I said, where I felt lazy, where it's like I don't really feel like, you know, I don't really feel like recording much today. I may just record one video or whatever, like the day before or the day before that, and I might just edit one of those and just call it a day. You know what I mean? But the burnout feeling where it's like, oh man, I'm gonna take a break. You know, no, I've never had that.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I feel like some people have gone through it, some haven't. But we all go through some sort of burnout or like exhaustion. Like you mentioned, obviously you've had your lazy days. Me, I had like a 2-month off earlier this year because I was just like, I wanted to get monetized last year on YouTube. Like, because something happened, family life and work got the better of me in 2023, and I was like, you know what, I need to find a hobby or something just to keep me company. So then I said January 1st, 2024, I was like, right, I'm going to give myself a full year. If I'm not successful or if I'm not getting anywhere or this or that, then I'm going to stop. And then I got 2,000 subscribers, and then I got monetized. I had Jacob Fatu, I had Zilla, I had all these people, and I made a few connections. And it's like I'm talking to you now. You're on 5 hours behind. I watch your stuff, so this is like a connection for me. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to different creators. I enjoy connections. I enjoy that.
It's good, man. It's good. Man. You gotta. Sometimes it's good to set goals for yourself. You know, you set goals for yourself and take it step by step by step by step by step. You know, eventually it'll start to make you feel better. Like, oh, I did this. Okay, now let me set another goal. Oh, I did that. Okay, now I'm kind of getting to where I want to get. Just kind of put you in a positive mindset.
100%. So for you, I'm in the UK and I watch your content, so that must be good. You know, like you're not just getting seen in America.
Yeah, I mean, social media is so freaking big nowadays, right? So it's like you never know who's watching your content. I mean, everybody has social media now, whether you're in Africa or Switzerland or South Korea, Japan, Hawaii, or England. Like it doesn't matter where you're at. Like everybody has social media, so it's like you just never know who's watching from where, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy how with social media being as big as it is, like who you can really interact with. Like you talk to people from different countries. You know what I mean? Like it's just so crazy. Like you and I, you know what I'm saying? Like if we didn't have social media, we wouldn't know we existed. I wouldn't know you even were alive in the world. You wouldn't know I was alive in the world. You know what I mean? But social media just it's good and bad. There's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, like you mentioned, obviously, you're 5 hours behind. You're in America, I'm in the UK.
Yeah.
Literally, we're moving and talking right now. Technology for you, isn't it? And social media is amazing.
Yeah, I can only imagine what social media is going to be like, 50 years from now. Like, we'll probably look back today and be like, holy crap, like, it's so much more advanced now. 50 years, we're gonna look back on this era and think like it's crazy, like it's only gonna continue to grow and grow, which is it's kind of scary at the same time. I'm not gonna lie, especially with all this AI stuff going around.
I've seen the videos on TikTok.
Yeah, it's like wild, bro. I'm like, I don't know, man. That might not be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, how that's gonna look? Some people are already making certain concerns, like they could.
Jake Paul.
They could use that stuff to frame people, man. Like you could use that stuff to convict people the wrong way and stuff like that. That's scary, bro. Like
messes with people's reputation, doesn't it, and stuff like that, like brand deals and everything.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Imagine you having to go to court and you're going to court for something you ain't doing, and then they show like an AI video and like they believe that's real. I'm saying like that's scary. Like,
yeah, it is very scary. I've seen a few, like I mentioned earlier, Jay Paul. I've seen HS. I've seen a few people going about, and it's not good.
Yeah, it's
really not
scary,
good,
man, for sure.
Would you say you're more WWE driven though?
I mean, yeah, WWE's always been like, I guess my bread and butter, you could say. I mean, I've watched a little bit of everything, but WWE is like my main knowledge, though, for sure. Like history and all that stuff. Okay, that's what most of us grew up watching, and that's what I mainly grew up watching. That and TNA and WWE, I watched a lot. You know, like when I was a kid. And then I didn't really start to get into New Japan until I was about high school. So once I was in high school, then I started to watch more New Japan stuff, and I've been watching AEW since they've come around. So, but I would definitely say like knowledge-wise, like if you were to give me a trivia, WWE would be the one that I would pick because I would know more about that.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Like, would you start mixing some AEW into your TikToks and stuff? Because the way I see you speak about WWE, I'd love to see you speak about AEW.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some more AEW stuff. It's got to be particular because a lot of people love the reaction videos and stuff, but AEW, like I've seen them copyright people and get people's accounts banned and shit like that. And I'm not saying that was AEW doing it, but it could be like the bots in the system or, just how things work. Copyright is a big thing. So it's like people don't want you to steal your content, stuff like that. So it's just, it's very particular on what I would do with the AEW. So I just got to figure out how I want to approach it. But definitely for sure. I mean, I'm definitely going to dabble in to talk about some more AEW stuff. I think AEW's in a better place right now than WWE. Creative
100%. I will agree with that. And I think I'd even say match-wise as well.
Well, yeah, especially for the pay-per-views, man. Like the pay-per-views, they can be a little long sometimes, but it's definitely worth to sit through, man. Their pay-per-views are definitely worthy of watching.
You're going to have each pay-per-view with AEW, you know what you're going to get, like good matches.
Yeah.
And there's going to be at least one shock on each show, pay-per-view wise.
I mean, not wrong, man. Not wrong.
So obviously, I've said where you see yourself in 2026, but who would you like to interview? You got 4 people: one from AEW, one from WWE, one from TNA, and one from New Japan.
New Japan probably like Zack Sabre Jr. He would be one. I like his style a lot. For TNA, I've interviewed Santino too, so he's another one that I've interviewed, so I can't say him. TNA, I'll probably say like Leon Slater. He's my favorite right now.
You like the British man?
Yeah, super, super young. So Leon Slater would probably be one. For AEW, I would say Kenny Omega. Social media and throughout his career since like Bullet Club, like peak Bullet Club, like 2016, around that time, 2017, like the peak Bullet Club era and stuff like that. So he's somebody that I would definitely love. And then WWE, man, there's a lot, but if I was gonna go like big for a big interview, I mean, it would have to be John Cena. He would be the one. Now, realistically though, I would probably say somebody that I like to interview like on a realistic level. Maybe like Bailey. Bailey, I would say. I think Bailey. I think that would be more realistic, than John Cena. John Cena would be really hard to get, but Bailey's my all-time favorite women's wrestler. So, I would say Bailey. I'd love to interview Bailey.
No, never say never, man.
Hey, anything's possible, man. Have a great night.
Yeah, definitely. So who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling? We've established that one of them is John Cena. Who's the other three?
We talking wrestling or just WWE?
Wrestling. But if you want anyone,
well, it's different because there's certain people there's certain people who may not have had great careers in WWE, but they've had great wrestling careers elsewhere. So I think you got to separate the two. So the WWE one is easy. That one was easy. The wrestling one a little bit more challenging, but the WWE one, with no particular order or anything. Obviously, John Cena would be on there. The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan. Unfortunately for people, how people feel about him, I got to be realistic, non-biased. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those would be the four. I feel like Austin is the biggest draw, biggest peak that WWE's ever had and ever seen. Yeah. Hulk Hogan revolutionized the business, first guy to push WWE to that next step and envelope. The Hulkamania era was life-changing, and it changed wrestling. The Undertaker, greatest character in WWE history, the longevity, accolades. Like, he's probably the only superstar you could point at that never was the face or like the guy, but was the most consistent, through like every era that he was a part of at his peak. And then John, probably the biggest babyface WWE's ever had. I feel like he also has a great match catalog attached to him that people really don't want to admit. Like, his match catalog is pretty insane. His promo skills are great. His connection with the audience is undeniable. I feel like John Cena just has like damn near the perfect career. So those would be the four just for WWE, I would say, for the men's side.
Nice. So
now, all of wrestling, like Ric Flair would be on there. Hulk Hogan would still be on there. Maybe all of wrestling is tough, man. Because Undertaker.
The Rock's got to be on there.
The Rock is not a bad name. All of wrestling, Andre the Giant might have to be on that one. He definitely was the pinnacle to change wrestling, but then you gotta get into others like New Japan, like the Great Muta.
So I ask everyone this question, and I've had people say, well, that depends. Are we going to be going on draws? Are we going to be going on styles? Are we going to be going on my favorite? Do you know what I mean? People told me all different ones. Because like you said, if you're going on draw, you've got to have The Rock. In my opinion, The Rock and Steve Austin in the 98, 99, 2000, they were peak.
But yeah, if we're going based off star power, it would have to be, Hogan, Rock, Austin, and Cena. Those would have to be like the four biggest draws. Roman might be up there now too. So, for WWE, so yeah, those. Draw power. Andre would have to be in there too. We're talking draw power.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Andre the Giant was a major draw too. So,
NWO.
Yeah,
just as a group with a draw for their 3 years.
It's a good one. It's a good one too. You got a good point.
There's just so many. Do you know what I mean? There's different state. The good thing about wrestling is when you talk to a fan like me, talk to you, you can talk about wrestling for ages. Do you know what I mean? We all have opinions. We all have this, and everyone's obviously you've got some fans that take it to the extreme, but each opinion, in my opinion, fucking hell, I didn't think I'd say that. Each opinion, in my opinion, is valid.
100%.
You know what I mean? So to wrap,
inspirational message just for people who want to make content, or just
whatever you want to do, man. This is you.
I just go for people who want to make content. Definitely don't doubt yourself. Definitely believe in what you want to achieve. I know it kind of seems impossible because you may watch other creators, like the big ones who are making millions of dollars and living this crazy lifestyle, right? Be willing to put in the effort. Consistency is a thing, so you have to treat it like another job, even if you're working a regular 9 to 5. You got to put the effort into being consistent with making content. The only way to grow. So if you're not willing stuck in the same bubble, right? So I would definitely say if you believe or thought about making content, but maybe you're self-conscious about it, or maybe you're shy or afraid about it, I would say just go for it, man. Just go for it. And never doubt yourself. Never doubt what you can do. Never doubt how far you think you could really go with it. Like, set goals for yourself. Some of them may be even unrealistic for people. Some people will think that, you can never do that. You won't be able to achieve for everybody. So you never really know how far life can take you and where you could end up. You could be working a regular 9 to 5 one year, and the next year you could be one of the biggest creators in the world. You just never really know. You got to be willing to put yourself out there, though. So you got to be willing to put in the effort as well. It's all about consistency and hard work. And you may have self-doubt about certain things, just do it, man. Just go out there and do it. Many of us who have gotten into this box of being creators, you ask many of them, I guarantee you they're probably going to tell you they never thought that they were going to end up where they ended up. We're talking about some of your favorite creators, about getting to where we want to get to. You can do the same thing, man.
I appreciate that. That's, you couldn't have said it any better myself. But yeah, Malik, fucking striving to be the best that I know you are. I love your content, whether that's TikTok, YouTube, whatever you do. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to keep supporting you. Thank you for coming on. Hope you had a blast.